Hi guys, Opinionated Horsewoman here. Today I want to talk to you about the coronavirus that has spreading around the world and has just hit the United States in the last probably week and a half and is starting to spread very quickly across the nation. Talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make your own hand sanitizer. So before we get into that, please take a second, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell so that you are notified of all my new uploads. I appreciate it so much. So today is Wednesday, March 11th. Checking my watch, that's the date. A lot of things are going on today. The news was just kind of going crazy. So March Madness, they are not going to be allowing fans in to watch the games, the basketball games. That hit. A number of universities are deciding to close their doors for classroom classes. They're switching to online only. I believe I heard MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, is giving their students until Sunday to get out of the dormitories, and are switching to finish the rest of this semester to online only. So all the students at MIT have to go home this weekend and clear out of the dorms. I heard a couple other, I feel like might have been Alabama, I'm not sure. I think I heard Wisconsin. A number of other universities are switching to either finishing out their school year online, or they're temporarily switching to online classes. Number of other sporting events are again closing it off to no fans, only coaches, players, and maybe a few small relatives. Coachella was announced to be postponed until the fall, sometime in October. A number of very large events are canceling, and this is a wise decision. This coronavirus is so quickly spread. It's astounding. I've watched a number of news interviews, some online videos where some good podcasters have on some pretty impressive doctors with some amazing credentials who are saying in our lifetime, we've probably never seen a pandemic that is quite like this. The virus, they've never seen anything quite like this as far as the amount of virus that's available in people's bodies as they are getting sick, or not even feeling sick but carrying the virus. So I definitely urge you all to keep an eye on the news as much as possible. It's pretty crazy. And so that brings us into what can we do to keep ourselves safe? Well, definitely you need to limit your social interactions in person. So that means don't go to sporting events, don't go to large gatherings of people. Be careful going out and eating at restaurants and anywhere where there's like large amounts of people. My coworkers and I, when we used to go out for lunch, we'd go out and we'd sit in the restaurant and eat lunch. Now what we're doing is if we want to go out for lunch, we're going to go out and we're taking it back to our office, and just kind of staying as much as we can out of the public. And you can't limit your exposure to going out. You have to buy groceries, you have to buy gas, you have to go to work. But there are things you can do to keep yourself safe, your family safe, co-workers safe, the rest of the public safe. The first thing is if you feel sick, stay home. Don't go anywhere. Don't go to the doctor's office. Don't go to the urgent care, and don't go to the emergency room. They are going to be completely overrun by people who are very ill with coronavirus, and they're already asking people, if you are sick and you are not having major issues such as breathing problems, all they want you to do is stay at home and isolate yourself for 14 days. Now, if you are having difficulties breathing, they are telling you to contact the emergency rooms or the urgent care before you go and let them know you're coming. And then of course you would go. But if you just think you have it, you can certainly let your doctor's office know, but they're going to tell you, if they're overrun with patients, they're going to tell you, stay home, Isolate yourself. That means don't go anywhere. Don't expose the public. This is a highly transmissible disease transmitted by droplets in our breath. So very important to stay home, stay isolated, and just kind of hunker down. So that brings me to, you know, when you're out and about in public, you don't know if people are actually isolating themselves. And one of the ways that we catch this, not only is someone breathing on you, that's like being in a large group, being very close to people in close proximity, but also if, you know, as we talk, we're exhaling, you know, little micro particles of liquid. You know, our breath has got liquid in it, and, you know, you spit a little when you talk. Some people do, and it just happens. And, you know, we're always touching our mouths with our saliva, and then we're touching things. And so the important thing is not to panic. Don't go and put a mask on unless you're sick. That's not going to do anything if you're not sick. If you're not sick, it won't do anything for you. Don't necessarily panic and buy gloves, but what you need to be doing is stepping up how your personal hygiene is. You need to be washing your hands way more often than you probably have ever washed your hands in your life. And then when you are out, like at the grocery store or the gas station, or, you know, going to a restaurant to pick up some food, whatever it ends up being, you need to be carrying hand sanitizer, and you need to be using it. So the problem right now is that hand sanitizer is pretty much sold out across the United States. So if you can find it and buy it, buy it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it for more than a week, more than 2 weeks. We're probably looking at this outbreak being 2, 3, or 4 months worth of changing the way we live our lives. So you have to learn how to make your own hand sanitizer. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my own hand sanitizer, and I got my ingredients right here. So the first thing you need is going to be, and this is hard to find right now, but it's rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, and it has to be the 91%, because your end product of your hand sanitizer needs to be at least 60% alcohol, preferably more than that, because that is what will kill this coronavirus. So I do have some other rubbing alcohol here. This is a 70%. The problem with this is it's a little hard to mix this in to keep it at a overall, you know, 60% or higher. You almost can barely put anything with this. So I really recommend, you know, if you can only find the 70%, it is what it is. But, you know, the problem with pure alcohol is it's incredibly drying to our skin, right? So you need to mix it with something that is going to give your skin a little bit of hydration after all the drying properties of the alcohol. So again, the important thing is to do the math and keep the ratio so that you are at an end total percentage of alcohol is 60% or greater. So 60, 65, 75%, somewhere in there. You're starting out with it already watered down from 100%. So we're going to use this. And what I've got is, this is a little spray bottle that had, I think, a hair product in it. It's 2 ounces. I cleaned it out a long time ago and threw it in my cabinet and was like, oh, I might need to use this. Well, now I need to use this. So what I am going to do is fill this probably about to here with rubbing alcohol. So a good 70% of the way, and just leave me a little bit of room for a little bit of other products. So let's see if I can do this without making a mess. It's a good thing. It's a fairly full bin, but I'm going to quickly go ahead and kind of fill this up. Hopefully not make a mess. Oop, and I made a mess, which is fine because I can kind of clean up my desk with this. So I've got it pretty full. This is why I've got some wipes here. I will sanitize my desk with my rubbing alcohol. It's looking a little bit too full, so I will. All right, so I have it filled up to about right here. So of the 2 ounces, that's the majority is going to be rubbing alcohol, which again is really hard on your skin. So what I have come up with and tested that I actually really like, but keeps it a very, very strong hand sanitizer is, I'm going to use, make my own hyaluronic acid serum, right? I think I've got a video that talks all about this. I will link it below. I've talked about it a number of times. I'm going to start in with a little bit of hyaluronic acid serum, and that is going to be to kind of protect my skin, because like I said, pure rubbing alcohol in that high concentrate is quite hard on the skin. So I'm not putting a lot because I don't have I have to keep it above the 60%, and to be honest with you, I want it as high as I can get it to kill as much of the virus. So I've got just a couple of drops, of my hyaluronic acid serum in here, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of shake that up a little bit and see how it goes. So it's very, very smelly. The other thing I'm going to mix in is, this is pure coconut oil that is fractionated, so it is liquid in at lower temperatures. So I'm going to put 1 pump of coconut oil in here because I can't really put a lot in here. And then I also have, you can see I'm touching my face. This is what I really love. Between the hyaluronic acid serum, I've got jojoba oil, and this is used in so many skincare products. So I'm going to take a dropper of this, which, about that much. See if I can get it in my bottle without overflowing it. Yeah. I think I got a little bit room. I can put a little bit more. So this is going to make, yeah, it's about all I can get in. This is going to make my my rubbing alcohol serum here, my new hand sanitizer. It's going to make it a little oily, but I have been testing this out for a week now, and I love it because I can tell it's incredibly potent. It very much smells like hand sanitizer. It smells like rubbing alcohol, but it hasn't dried out my hands. So I kind of go ahead and shake that. And then I am going to go ahead and start priming this pump. There we go. So, whew, get a little bit more going here. And there we go. Smells like rubbing alcohol. It smells incredibly strong. It has a little bit of a coloration to it from the coconut oil and the jojoba. It leaves my hands just mildly kind of oily, but there's such a small amount of oil that it ends up just soaking right into my skin, and I'm not having the problem where this is drying out my skin. So if you can find a small bottle of some sort, remember this has to remain airtight when you're not using it because you don't want the alcohol to evaporate. Alcohol evaporates in the air very quickly. So it's got to be something you can keep quite tight and that isn't going to leak or spill because you don't want any air getting in there unless you're using it. So majority of your bottle is going to be the 91% rubbing alcohol. And then, like I said, I am using a little bit of facial skincare, which is hyaluronic acid serum, a little bit of coconut oil, and then some jojoba oil. So, you know, pretty easy to do, fairly easy to find these products. Probably the hardest thing you're going to have right now is finding the 91% rubbing alcohol. All my stores in my area are sold out. Cleaning products are sold out. Disinfecting, you know, Lysol is sold out. Clorox is sold out. The Clorox wipes are sold out. Hand soap has sold out. I have a feeling we're going to start with the toilet paper run that we've been reading about online for a week. People are going to panic and start buying a lot of toilet paper. Hand sanitizer has not been available for almost 2 weeks. So make your own. Make sure you do the math. Google can help you. Google has some calculator stuff that can help you do the math. But again, if you can find it, 91% rubbing alcohol. And what you're going to need to do is carry this with you. When you're going through doorways, if you have to touch door handles, when you get into wherever it is you're going, sanitize. Everybody's touching the same door handles. Somebody's going to have coronavirus, right? You're going to get it otherwise. You know, when you're shopping in the shopping mall or in the maybe in the grocery store and you have a cart, if they have the cart wipes available, wipe your cart down. If they don't, get a whole bunch of hand sanitizer in your hand and put it all over the cart handle so that the cart handle has been, all that bacteria has been killed off by the alcohol in here. Stuff like that you're going to have to do when you're washing your hands, if you're in a public area, to turn off the water. If it doesn't turn off automatically, use an elbow, or better yet, leave the water running. Go get your drying towels. Use that to turn off the water. Dry your hands. Don't throw this away. Use your towel to walk out and open the door. Use your towel to touch the door so you're not touching the door with your hands. These are things that we're going to have to think about doing. We all touch our face. How many times have I touched my nose or my head or my chin while I've been on this video? Probably 15 times, right? You know, you itch, you scratch, you get a tickle. You're constantly touching your face. And if you've touched something that has coronavirus on it and you touch your face, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, you're going to get coronavirus. It's incredibly easy to catch. So this is a new way of living. We've never experienced this. You have to be so clean now, and you have to think about everything. At work, I'm wiping down my desk constantly. When people come visit me, I'm wiping down the desk after they've been there. When I'm walking around, when I'm making my lunch in the lunchroom, I'm wiping everything down before I touch it. And I'm washing my hands, and then I'm wiping more stuff down, and then I'm making my food, and I'm wiping it down again. Just because I don't want to get this. So, think about everything. Think about, what am I touching? Who's touched it? And do I need to hand sanitize? Do I need to wash my hands? Doors. I mean, everywhere you go, you're opening a door. Every time you touch a door handle, somebody's touched it ahead of you and they could be sick. So take care, kind of think about things. It's a new normal for us. It's going to be several months of this. Potentially the rest of our lives thinking about this, because this coronavirus is out there. It's never going to truly go away anymore. They don't know if they can create a vaccine for it. It's mutating. There's a lot of discussion about it mutating. It's hitting all ages. Out in Italy, the news out of Italy, they had 200 deaths in 24 hours. It's hitting the old, the young. They've got Italian doctors who are saying that kids are getting this and they're on intensive care. Obviously, middle-aged people are getting it, younger people, older people. If you have any sort of health issue, you should be terrified right now, because I know I'm healthy and I'm quite scared. I'm nervous for my family members. I'm nervous. Just because I'm healthy doesn't mean this won't make me incredibly sick, and it doesn't mean it won't necessarily potentially kill me. So make your own hand sanitizer, make it often, keep it tight so that the alcohol doesn't evaporate, and take care of yourself. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Leave me some comments below. If you have your own concoction you've made to create your own hand sanitizer, would love to know what you're using to keep, you know, to keep your hands from drying and cracking. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.